Deuces.
Welcome back to DBros Discussions. We're going to be here again doing another podcast, and today we have an unfamiliar face with us. We're going to go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is James Secondino.
James Secondino. And a little introduction for James. He's going to also do his own introduction, but just a little overview is he's a business owner and he runs multiple successful businesses, and he's done a lot in the community based out of Milton as well. So it's great to have you on the podcast.
It's a pleasure to be here.
First question for you was going to be, can you tell us what you do for work? Like, give us an introduction of your work. Like, what do you do?
Sure. Well, as you mentioned, I run a few businesses.
Right.
One is a garage transformation company where we do everything from floors to walls to ceilings, lights, car lifts.
You guys do everything in the garage, yeah?
Cabinets. Yeah, basically anything you can think of that you'd want a garage to look like. Your man cave, your she shed, we do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we make them beautiful, make them functional. So that's one of my businesses. My other business is a manufacturing company where I make a product that goes on the inside of the garage to help you get organized.
Okay.
It's called slot wall.
Slot wall.
Yeah.
Okay,
Specifically, the name of the product is Smart Slat.
Right.
Yeah.
So for any of the viewers watching and are too familiar with slot wall, it's pretty much just a system where you hang stuff up on the wall, correct?
Bingo.
You hang stuff up and organize your garage. That's the whole idea of it. Right? Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. So that's what you do, Absolutely. And then also you were saying before the Smart Slat, you were saying that you have a company that makes the whole garage nice, and you do everything to make your garage nice.
Sure.
I'm sure I'll probably add some pictures in to show highlight what you've done as well.
Yeah,
for sure.
Pretty
So
impressive stuff.
Yeah.
Actually.
All right.
I've had the DBros on some of those projects actually.
Yes, the DBros. The DBros have been on plenty projects. Yeah. You were saying that you do garage. I'm going to reiterate again. You do garage organizing and you do slot wall. So you can tell us why you got into this business in these businesses.
That's a great question, actually.
Yeah.
So the story goes, and I'll try to keep it brief. About 30 years ago, one of my uncles, my dad's youngest brother actually, was the inventor and engineer of a similar product, a slot wall product, a PVC product that went on the inside of the garage, right? To do exactly what my product does today, hang things and keep you organized.
Right.
My other uncle ran the manufacturing plant.
So both your uncles?
Two of my uncles. Yeah. So my other uncle ran the plant that made the product, along with other PVC products, for windows and doors and stuff like that. It was an extrusion business. 20 years ago, it was a summer job for me to work in the plant. So that's why I spent a lot of time in the tool and die department, learned a little bit about CNC, extrusion, and basically I worked in the factory. And I really fell in love with the process of manufacturing.
Right.
Fast forward, when I was a little bit older, I moved to a house in Milton with my girlfriend at the time, my wife now. And one of the first things I did was I called my uncle and I said, hey, I need some of that product because I got to finish my garage.
Right.
It's really all I knew for a garage and the way a garage should look, right, was to be finished this way. So he sent me some product and I installed this product in my garage. And I'll never forget, it was a beautiful September Monday morning. I wasn't working at the factory that day. In this finished garage that I'd worked on over the weekend with my my brother-in-laws. Two of my brother-in-laws helped me do the install.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I was sitting at the bistro set in the middle of this garage, sipping an espresso, just, soaking in the good weather. And some neighbors were walking by. And all of them wanted to take a closer look. Right? Three people I remember distinctly came over, and two of them asked me to do the same thing for their garage.
2 out of the 3 people.
2 out of the 3 said, "Would you do this for me?"
Wow.
And I did. So I started doing that. It turned into a sort of a hobby, then became a little bit more of a serious side hustle, and today it's a full scale, full blown operation.
Right.
So that's Mint Garage.
Right.
The garage transformation company.
Right.
I started manufacturing my own product because there were products in the market that I was using that I didn't like. There were some limitations, some restrictions, and because I'd been such a proficient installer, I came up with my own product to solve some of the problems I was facing as an installer, while making it more user-friendly for the homeowner. And that's when SmartSlat was born.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this all dates back 30 years ago.
This is
in the
all been
past.
30 years in the making.
Yeah. And then now here we are.
Here we are. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. Pinch me in my dreaming type stuff.
Yeah.
Serious, yeah.
Moving on to our next question, I was gonna ask you, what is your, what motivates you to do this? What motivates you to? Why do you do this?
Another great question. That I've been doing what I'm doing, that answer has changed over the years. In the beginning, it was because a couple people asked me to do it for them,
Right.
and I didn't want to say no. Right? There were people that I know till this day now, because I still live in the same neighborhood, still live on the same street, and they still comment on how much they love their garage. So in the beginning, I didn't want to say no to them. I wanted to give them the same satisfaction that I knew a finished garage would give me. It changed into, man, I could make some good money, extra money on the side doing this.
2 out of 3 people came by and saw it, and they were like, I want to get this done, and you could see it has potential for sure right from the start.
Oh yeah, bingo. Like supply and demand, right?
Yeah.
Some of the fundamental principles of why you should start a business and why a business would be a good business is supply and demand. So I saw that for sure. It turned into, this is a good way for me to make some extra side money, right? Where I was working at the time, simply wasn't cutting it. New family, new house, extra bills, extra expenses. I needed to make some extra coin, so this was a way to do that. It changed again when I started scaling the business and I saw the opportunity to help others who were in the same situation as me, needed to make more money, and I was able to provide them with an opportunity. And that's really that's been the tip of the iceberg for me, is helping others have success in this space, taking all the things that I've learned over the years and empowering others to do the same. So I sort of do it for other people now. Help others get what they want, and in return I get what I want. So it's cool. I don't have to focus on me anymore necessarily, because I'm focusing on helping others accomplish their goals.
So your why has changed over the years. You started off with, you just want to see someone else have the same satisfaction as you had with your garage, and then you also, the next why was you want to provide for your family, and then the third one was you want to have other people have the same success that you had with this whole thing, slot wall manufacturing and having their garage done.
Bingo.
Moving on to the next question I have for you is, what are some of the lessons you learned throughout your journey, your whole business journey?
I'll sum it up this way. Always expect the best from people, but be prepared for the worst. Right? That could be, as little as somebody saying that they're going to show up to work today, and then they call in sick.
Yeah.
Right? You're expecting them to show up, but then they don't. So you're prepared that they might not.
So you might have like a backup plan in place.
Bingo. Yeah. So as little as that. A customer, you could have left a customer's home. You just finished an estimate, and you're sure, based on the interaction with them, that they're going to do business with you. Be prepared that could be the last time you ever talk to them ever again.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You never know.
Never know.
Sometimes you have like an impression in your head of how something went, and then in the other person's mind or head, it didn't go that way,
Exactly. So. It could be something random happened, something significant could happen to them personally in their family life, or whatever the case may be. I've learned to not take that stuff personal.
That too, yeah.
And the reason why I don't take it personal is because I'm expecting the best, but I'm prepared that this stuff could happen, right? Just things like that. That would be my my general thing that I've learned the most.
One of your biggest lessons, yeah?
Biggest lessons, yeah, for sure.
Expect and be prepared, you know? Expect something good, but be prepared just in case.
That something might not go your way.
Yeah.
It helps manage your own expectations. It helps you not have a shitty day the rest of the day after that
after something goes wrong, you weren't expected, you weren't prepared for.
Bingo. Because it can completely derail you.
Yeah.
Business is a mindset. You know, having the right mindset, you could have the best product, you could have the best service, but if you don't have the right mindset, it could cripple you. Yeah.
No, you know what? I have a personal experience with this too, because I do YouTube right here. You know, and if you really try and if you really look at the views, and you're really looking at the views and your subscriber count is not going up, then you're like, if you're really focused on that, then you know you'll be demotivated to post more. You know, but I'm just entering a spot where I have fun making these videos and interviewing people like you and learning more. So I just do it regardless of whatever views I get.
Bingo. Because that's not the main. You're not doing it for the views.
Right.
You're doing it to put out your content. Correct me if I'm
Exactly. Yeah. My next question for you is, if you had to do it all again from nothing, you don't have this smart slat, you don't have your garage renovation business. What are some things you would do the same, differently, or change, or even would you just do it all the same way you did it?
I don't know. That's borderline. Asking if I have any regrets.
In a way, yeah.
In a way, and I don't believe in that. I don't believe in
maybe not so much regret, but just something you would do a little differently. Maybe you have room for improvement every single time you do something, right?
Everything that I did from doing things, making mistakes, right? Learning from my mistakes. Having said that, I would have done it harder, faster, doubts and questions, and tried to collapse those time frames.
Could you explain what collapsing time frames means for anyone who's not familiar with the term?
Yeah, for sure. So basically it's cramming what you could do in a week, maybe in a day, right? Cramming what you would stretch in a day and trying to condense that in an hour, right? And or a month into a week, a year into a month. Just do things quicker. The way I see it is you've got to climb shit mountain, I like to call it, right? And on the other side of that mountain is your goals and dreams. And if you know that you got to climb the mountain anyway, why walk up it? Run. So I would have ran a little bit more instead of the times.
A little bit faster, yeah.
Yeah, instead of the times that I walked, or paused and camped out on shit mountain.
Camped out? No, you don't want to camp out there.
No, you don't want to camp out on it. You want to get through it as quickly as possible. So I would have done that, but I know the reason why I did, and I think I know the reason why a lot of other people do too, is because they're afraid, right? And I looking back now realize that there was nothing to be afraid of. The rejection, the failure, ultimately are the things that I was afraid of, which is why I was maybe pausing some of the things that I needed to do anyway, right? And I would have done them sooner, faster.
Right. That's a good answer. No, it's really good. It's really insightful too, for me and probably for anyone watching as well.
Cool. Hopefully, yeah. Fear is only a 4-letter word. The acronym for fear is false expectations appearing real. So
we're entering our last question of the day, more of a request for you. I want you to leave our viewers and me with a quote that you live by, something to impart us with on our journey to whatever we're going to embark on.
This is my favorite quote. I probably say it a handful of times a day with different people, and I know I certainly think about it a lot. And that's the rising tide raises all ships.
The rising tide raises all ships. Wow.
Yeah. So for me, it means living a life of purpose, being a servant for others, which I try to be. As I mentioned earlier, trying to live my life by empowering other people and helping them accomplish their goals. And in the nature of what I do, if I help others accomplish their goals, in return I accomplish mine. Right. So I literally don't have to think about what I want to accomplish on a daily basis. That's not even a thought process. I just have to think about and work with people in the conversations I need to have, or how can I help you? If I help them, I help myself. So it's cool. It's like an unselfish way of living, and I think it's the way that life is supposed to be lived, and it's a freeing feeling. It's awesome.
And I think with that, we're going to end our podcast. Thank you again, James. for joining us on this one. We were very glad to have you here today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for having me again, and I wish you guys the best of luck, and hopefully we'll do this again sometime in the future.
Right. DBros Discussions out.